welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making my all-time favorite Guyanese dish, which is fried pumpkin. Fried pumpkin and roti is my ultimate comfort food, and if you guys know me, you'll know it's my favorite. I'm going to be showing a few other pumpkin recipes on my channel. I recently showed my pumpkin curry recipe, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. The link will be right up here. And if you want to see how to clean the pumpkins, I'll mention that later in the video too, and I'll have it tagged in that part of the video as well. I wanted to mention that this video is going to be a collaboration with the lovely Reshmi over at Taste of Trini. Now, if you guys know Reshmi, she posts some awesome Trini recipes, Trini Indian recipes for the most part, and they're just great, guys. She's an awesome home cook, and she's been a great help ever since I started YouTube. There's been a handful of people that have always been there to help me since I started YouTube. She's just been one of those people too. So I hope you guys go ahead and check out her channel, show her some love. I'm going to put all of her information in the description box below. Her Instagram handle, her Facebook, as well as her YouTube page. Make sure you guys subscribe, like her videos, comment on them, tell her that Matthew sent you. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe, my recipe for fried pumpkin. And once you're done watching this video, make sure to head on to Reshmi's channel and go ahead and check out her video. In order to make my fried pumpkin, what I'm going to need is some pumpkin, of course. And I've gone ahead and I've cut my pumpkin up and I've washed it really well. If you want to see how I cut open the pumpkin, how I peel it, and then how I wash it, you can go ahead and watch my previous video where I show you guys how to do that. I'm going to have it linked right up here too. And as far as seasonings goes, it's pretty simple. I have some hot pepper here, some wiri pepper. You can use as little or as much as you'd like. I have some chopped garlic, and this is going to give it a really good flavor. And I also have some sliced onion, and I have some chopped scallions. And as far as dry spices, I only have a little bit of roasted ground jeera, also known as cumin, and this is going to give it a really nice rich flavor towards the end. I'm going to add a little bit in the beginning and then add a little bit in the end to finish off the dish as well. I find that this gives it a really nice flavor. Then of course I have some salt to taste, and I have some oil to go ahead and fry up all of my ingredients. I'm also going to need a little bit of water during the cooking process, but I'll show you guys when I need to add that later. The first step is to go ahead and heat your pan on a medium-high heat. You want to get it pretty hot so this way you could fry up all of your seasonings really well. You're going to go in with a good amount of oil. The amount of pumpkin that I'm using today is quite a lot, so I want to go ahead and use enough oil to fry up everything. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and add in all of that hot pepper. We're going to add in all of that chopped garlic. And then we're going to go in with our onion, as well as half of our scallions. We're going to add the other half a little later. Then what you want to do is go ahead and stir up all of your ingredients. And you want to fry it up until the onions get a little golden brown on the edges. This is going to take about 2 minutes, so you just want to stand by the pot and make sure your garlic and stuff doesn't burn. Just wait for the onions to get a little bit of a golden brown color. I also wanted to mention that if you had a little bit of green seasoning on hand, you could go ahead and add in a little bit. That would also give it a really nice flavor, but sadly I don't have any on hand today. So once you see that all of the garlic and the onions start to get a little bit of a golden brown color, we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit of our ground jeera. This is just going to give it a nice little toasty and rich flavor. And once you get that tossed in, you really don't want to cook it for long or else it could turn pretty bitter. So we're going to go straight in with all of our pumpkin. Once you've added in all of your pumpkin, you want to go in with some salt to taste. You want the pumpkin to start releasing its own juices, so that's why we add the salt at this point. And then you want to go ahead and start stirring your pumpkin up. You're going to see all those wonderful little seasonings and bits at the bottom of the pan. They're going to start to come up, and you're going to mix them up with the pumpkin. And this is what's going to give the pumpkin that really nice flavor. So once you mix this up, you're going to let this cook or fry up on a medium-high heat for about 10 to 15 minutes, or just until you see the pumpkin start to release a little bit of its water. Once this whole mixture starts to dry up a little bit, that's when we can go ahead and add in our own water, so this way the pumpkin can really cook down and get nice and tender. So I'm going to come back and show you guys what that looks like. I wanted to mention that if you wanted to, you could keep this dish vegetarian like I'm doing today, or if you wanted to, you could also go ahead and add in some shrimp towards the end. Now today I'm just going to keep it vegetarian because as you can see I had a really large amount of pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry all of this pumpkin out, and once it cools down I'm going to go ahead and portion them into little Ziploc bags and put them into the freezer. And when I'm ready to use them, I can go ahead and fry up a little bit of shrimp, and then I can put the pumpkin into that and refry it. And it works so great, guys. it takes a lot of time to peel these pumpkins and then cut them. So it's great to have them in the freezer already made. So this way when you're feeling like making pumpkin, you can already have it on hand and you don't have to take all of that time to go ahead and fry pumpkin and peel it and whatever. So today I'm going to keep it vegetarian as I said, but remember if you wanted to, you can go ahead and add in some shrimp towards the end. So at this point, it's been about 10 minutes, and you're going to notice that after about 10 to 15 minutes, that at the bottom, it's going to start to catch or stick just a little bit. So at that point, you want to go ahead and add in some water. You don't want to add in too much water. You just want to go ahead and add in enough so it can help the pumpkin start to boil. Now, the reason why I don't add a lot of water is because what's going to happen when the pumpkin is cooking while it's covered and boiling, the pumpkin's going to release some of its own water, and depending on the type of pumpkin that you're using, some might be a little more watery than others. The water content might be a little higher in others. So you want to make sure to go ahead and gauge that water and not add too much, but also don't add too little to where it starts to stick and burn at the bottom of the pot. So at this point, I'm just going to give it a quick mix, and I'm going to cover my pot and let it simmer on a medium-low heat this time for about 20 to 25 minutes, or just until the pumpkin starts to get very tender and it starts to fall apart. You do not want big chunks of pumpkin in your fried pumpkin. You want it to be pretty mushed up and disintegrated within the dish. So I'm going to come back and show you guys what that step looks like once the pumpkin is starting to melt a little bit. Once you've added in your ground jeera, you're going to go ahead and add in the rest of your green onions or your scallions. This is going to give it a really nice fresh flavor since you're adding it at the end. You just want to give that a stir. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this back and let it cook on a medium heat for about another 10 minutes. And then the rest of the pumpkin should have been melted by that time. Alright guys, here's the final product, my fried pumpkin. After I had it in the pot for that final 10 minutes, I went ahead and I tasted it for salt and it was perfect. And then I went ahead and I just served it up to show you guys what it looks like. You really just want to make sure that all of those pumpkin pieces are melted throughout the whole dish. The whole cooking process took me about 40 minutes in total, but it'll totally depend for you guys depending on what type of pumpkin that you use. So once again, I really hope you enjoyed my recipe, but most importantly, since this is a collaboration, make sure you go ahead and check out Reshmi's recipe for her fried pumpkin. I'll have all of her information in the description box down below. Go ahead and give her channel some love. Follow her on social media. She's seriously a great home cook, guys, and she's just awesome. Her recipes are awesome, so make sure you go ahead and check them out. I can't wait to see her variation for fried pumpkin. So once again, I hope you enjoyed my recipe. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. That's the only way that you'll see the videos as I post them. And go ahead and comment down below. Tell me what's your favorite vegetable to eat with roti. Mine is pumpkin, of course. And go ahead and tell me what you thought about this recipe and what I should make next. Once again, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys again with another awesome recipe.